Big Ray's Wrestling Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Ray's Wrestling Show. You know me. I'm the Mark of the Masters, the man with the plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk some TNA today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a few years since I've done a TNA Impact review for OneWrestling.com. And actually back in November of 2012, if I'm correct. Let's shoot there real quick.
Impact 11/15/2012. If you saw the last pay-per-view Turning Point, you know that Cowboy James Storm got the pin on AJ Styles.
That's me back in 2012 doing my very first TNA Impact review here for OneWrestling.com. Pretty cool. But ladies and gentlemen, tonight was a night full of TNA wrestling action. I gotta be honest with you. I gotta be really honest with you. I'm really happy with the product right now. I think it's gotten a heck of a lot better ever since it's moved to pop television. And you know, OK Fabe, who was on vacation in Disney on a Disney cruise with his kids. I mean, what's more important, a Disney cruise with your kids or reviewing wrestling here at OneWrestling.com? I mean, really, seriously, what? Who are you? What do you mean you work with OK Fabe? I'm not trying to take his job. Fine, I'll do the best I possibly can, with all due respect to OK Fabe. Could you get out of my house, please? Thank you. Who is this person? Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is TNA Impact coming from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, January 19th, 2016. We have Josh Matthews and the Pope, D'Angelo De Niro, doing the calling. Now, this match starts off with with Jeff Hardy in the ring, and Jeff Hardy is cutting a very passionate promo where he feels a little uncomfortable with this whole situation with Matt Hardy. Maybe he feels that Matt Hardy's making a little change. His mindset is not all there. Matt Hardy comes to the ring with his beautiful wife, Robbie, and his very handsome son, who Bill Apter did interview here at OneWrestling.com, and he convinced Jeff Hardy that it is his time. It is his time to become the TNA Impact World Heavyweight Champion. Well, while all this is going on, the big man, yes, Tyrus, comes down the ring, and he was wearing these tights, and these tights said something about magical unicorn. Really weird. But basically, when he comes off and he challenges Jeff Hardy, basically saying that all the dreams, you know, he has dreams too, and eventually he dreams of being the World Heavyweight Champion. But I mean, this guy comes down, he challenges Jeff Hardy to a match. And, well, it was actually a pretty decent match. Now, towards the end of the match, we have Jeff Hardy who attempts to twist the fate. Now, at first, I thought it was a total botch, but the guy really sold it really well, re-injuring the knee that he had injured prior to being out of TNA for quite some time. And again, if Jeff Hardy was selling this, if this wasn't actually a botch, I gotta tell you something, he did a really good match. But Tyrus did what he had to do. He eventually jumped right onto the leg, just stomping on it and dropping the big 300-pound elbow, almost 400 pounds, I'm pretty sure. And Tyrus then shoves the referee, he gets disqualified, and Tyrus continued to beat on Jeff Hardy outside of the ring. Now, after all this, we had a really cool video package. We're gonna move on. We had a really cool video package of the Feast or Fired match that's gonna be taking place starting next week. And backstage, we had the Wolves, and the Wolves were talking about all the competitors that they faced, Team 3D, the Hardy Boys, so on and so forth. But one of the teams they really want to face is Beer Money. And I gotta tell you something, guys. I've been on the WZ Daily with Nick Hausman. Go to WrestleZone.com and check me out. I'm usually there every single Wednesdays, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I gotta tell you, man, I am really happy that Cowboy James Storm came back home. I'm really excited to see Beer Money back here in TNA Wrestling. And while the Wolves are cutting this promo out of nowhere, a really demented looking crazy Steve comes out, a little crazier than usual, and he proceeds to giggle his way past the camera, and the Wolves look at him like, what the hell's going on? Well, the Wolves actually get jumped from behind. Now, I'm going to have my thought process on who I believe this is. It kind of looked like Abyss. Now, these are no spoilers. I don't know exactly who. I don't look at spoilers, guys, so I don't know. I'm watching the show as if it's a brand new show to me, and it looked like it was Abyss. Now, Abyss and Crazy Steve. Now, Crazy Steve has always been actually a really good wrestler, especially in the X Division with TNA Wrestling. But I don't think that his character had been used to its full potential. I think him and Abyss could be a really interesting product going forward. Be really interested again to see these two in the ring together as a tag team. I think it'll make some good wrestling action. Now we have the TNA Knockouts Championship, and this match was really good. We had Gail Kim, the defending TNA Knockouts Heavyweight Champion, versus Awesome Kong with the Dollhouse. Now, throughout the entire match, the Dollhouse was getting involved, and basically towards the end of the match, we had Rebel attack Gail. The referees being distracted, the beautiful people running, and they actually assist and attack the Dollhouse, and Gail Kim is able to hit the Eat Defeat on Awesome Kong, and then one of the young ladies from the Dollhouse, I think it was Jade. Jade was on the top of the rope, and she actually gets tossed swanton style on to Awesome Kong, and I gotta tell you, she pinned Awesome Kong for the 1, 2, 3, and it was a really good match. I'm not giving this match just due. I'm really running through this rather quickly, but if you haven't had a chance, go to ImpactWrestling.com, go to PopTV.com tomorrow if you guys haven't watched it, depending on when you're watching this video, and check out a really good women's championship match. Now, WWE at this point in juncture, NXT has been putting forth some pretty good matches, but right now, for me, this is one of the best women matches of the year. So, and it's a very early year. So we come back from commercial break and we have Beer Money, and they come out. James Storm they're high-fiving, and they're talking about, you know, they've wrestled for 5 years together, and the fans are chanting, and they're challenging Bram and EY. But while they're challenging Bram and EY, Eli Drake, who I absolutely love, and Jessie Godderz come out instead of EY, and they actually challenge Beer Money to a match. And I gotta be honest with you, man, another solid match. Now, Eli Drake, I want to get into Eli Drake really quickly. Jessie Godderz has gotten a hell of a lot better in the ring since I've reviewed TNA Impact Wrestling. I know back in the day with the Bromans, one of my favorite tag teams back in the day with Robbie E. It was really cool to see Eli Drake cut a promo. Very good promo cut by Eli Drake at the top of the ramp, talking about, you know, Beer Money having a midlife crisis, so on and so forth. Really cool stuff. And I got to be honest with you, it was a good solid match. Now towards the end of the match, we had Beer Money who hit the double suplex, the Beer Money double suplex, and then they hit the DWI for the 1, 2, 3. So I think that this little feud's going to go on a little bit more. Maybe we'll have a great three-way match between the three tag teams. I think it'll be phenomenal. Again, Eli Drake, I see this guy being a singles competitor, perhaps King of the Mountain champion down the road, and maybe even a world heavyweight champion, depending on how they book him. I would like to know your opinions. Leave your comments here below at OneWrestling.com and YouTube /OneWrestling. What? I'm not gonna act all goofy and stuff. I mean, that's not my gimmick. I'm not trying to steal OK Fade's job. All right, please. Get out of my house. I don't know, guys. If you haven't seen OK Fabe's reviews of TNA Impact, or seen him on Impact Wrestling, or I'm sorry, or on Big Slam Wrestling, he's quite the enigma. Very funny guy, but extremely knowledgeable guy. So again, I'm just filling in this week, but this person keeps walking into my apartment, asking me questions. Anyway, so let's move on. So backstage we have Robbie, and she's basically bitching. She's bitching to Matt Hardy, and they walk and they see Jeff Hardy backstage sitting down, and Jeff Hardy shows that knee, and he does some poppy weird thing with his knee where the cartilage seems like it's kind of not tied in correctly, and the knee is all buckly and booby, and it looked disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But Matt and Robbie convinced Jeff to go to the hospital. Now, let me tell you something. If it was me and my knee was like a elasticity status, I'd definitely be going to the hospital, but neither here nor there. Jeff Hardy agrees and limps off. Now we have Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle actually comes out because of promo. They had a really cool video package with Kurt Angle, and an excellent match last week, again, depending on when you're watching this video, with Drew Galloway. And basically we have Bobby Lashley who comes to the ring, and he interrupts him, and Bobby Lashley says, look, long story short, I'm going to cut all the jibber jabber out. Bobby Lashley basically says there is only one solution, and that Kurt Angle and Bobby Lashley will have to face each other for one more match. And I'm looking forward to this match. Big Slam Nation actually had our top 10 matches of 2015, and this match narrowly just missed it. And Bobby Lashley, put Angle over perfectly as a dominant wrestler, as one of the best, so on and so forth. But he basically says he's going to beat Kurt's ass. So that's actually really cool. Now, backstage, we come back from commercial break. We have Bobby Lashley, and he says he hates losing to Angle, so on and so forth, and he really wants his chance to get revenge. And some hot Spanish chick comes out, and she kind of kisses Bobby Lashley on the cheek, and says something about Lashley's pain is her pleasure. Looking at the way Bobby Lashley was dressed, and he showed a little bit of arrogance, and I could see Bobby Lashley as a real serious heel again in TNA wrestling in a singles run, not back when he was doing the whole thing with MVP and the other guys. But I would love to see Bobby Lashley come back as a heel with that hot piece of action, if you know what I mean, guys. I think that would be really cool. But listen, guys, we come back from a commercial break, and we have EC3, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I think this is, again, one of the most beautiful championship belts of all. Very beautiful. I would love to know what you guys think about EC3 and his World Heavyweight title run in TNA Wrestling. He's an extremely talented young talent. Again, Derek Bateman, formerly of the WWE, came to TNA, made a name for himself. They put him over. The guy has just gotten better and better. And I hope TNA Wrestling, I hope Impact Wrestling, that you guys really pay this guy the money, because WWE must be salivating if his contract is going to be up any time soon. This guy is the future of Impact Wrestling. So we're going to jump into the TNA World Heavyweight Championship match. And I gotta tell you something, man. This match was off the hook. It was a last man standing match, and so much happened during this match. I actually took a bunch of notes here. I mean, listen, it was a knockdown, drag out fight, and during the match, you would assume that the fans would be really rooting hard for Matt Hardy, but over the last couple of weeks, EC3 has shown that he didn't really need the assistance of Tyrus, and he's been winning matches clean, and he's been putting forth one hell of an effort every single freaking week. I mean, the guy's gotten really excellent. Now, Matt Hardy, we're gonna jump into the match, and Matt Hardy actually hits a twist of fate, but not just a regular twist of fate. He actually sticks the entire head and throat of EC3 in this folding chair, hitting the twist of fate, but EC3 got up. Then later during the match, Robbie hands Matt a freaking hammer. My New York came out. I said a freaking hammer. And EC3 ducks, and Matt, and actually ends up hitting Matt with a 1%er. Again, back and forth. All this craziness going on, little by little during the match, you're seeing, and I saw it a little last week and the week before, Matt Hardy kind of having a change of heart, change of character, maybe turning heel. Absolutely. I mean, only a heel would have his gorgeous wife, which, by the way, Robbie is absolutely amazing. What? I know I'm talking wrestling. Give me a second. Get out of my house. Okay, Fabe, I'm going to tell you something real quick. If this guy comes back into my house, there's going to be a freaking problem. Thank God you're covering TNA Impact next week. You have no idea. Anyway, so, listen, man. This match was absolutely ridiculous. And then you have Tyrus, who comes down to the ramp. And when this happened, I started thinking, man, Tyrus has been giving EC3 some really, really, really dirty looks over the last couple of weeks. EC3 maybe not appreciating fully the backup. And Tyrus walks into the ring, and guess what, my friends? Tyrus, you know what I loved about this? When Tyrus actually walks up to EC3, and EC3 kind of looks up at Tyrus, and he gives him like that, oh, you're just going to kick my behind, aren't you? I knew this was going to happen. Look to Tyrus, and that's exactly what happened. Tyrus proceeded to hit EC3 with his finisher, kind of like a Dominator, but not. Kind of what like Big E Langston does over in WWE, the big ending type move. And EC3 got back up. And this is what I loved. And this is how you turn a baby face into a heel into a baby face. You have the fans really supporting him. By this time, the entire TNA crowd is yelling, screaming, cursing. They're just chanting EC3's name. And again, it was 50-50. About 25% into the match. Really, EC3 has really won over this crowd. Now, EC3 proceeds to fight Tyrus back, laying into him. But then, Matt Hardy takes this beautiful TNA World Heavyweight Championship belt and proceeds to smash it over the head of one Ethan Carter III. Matt Hardy stands over Ethan Carter III. He is counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ladies and gentlemen, your new TNA World Heavyweight Champion is Matt Hardy. We come back from a commercial break, and Matt Hardy standing beside his beautiful wife, Rebby, and alongside that big gargantuan, the guy that was apparently going to eat Fabe last week. And he basically talks about, the fans not being part of his dream. How he says that he's doing it for himself. He won for him. He did it for him. Total heel turn by Matt Hardy. And he doesn't care about the fans anymore. He doesn't care about anyone. All he cares about is himself. And he goes to Tyrus and he said, Tyrus, you made a good business decision. He spoke about how he's a multi-millionaire, how he has cars, self-made, I might add. I mean, he really put himself over. And then he proceeded to put a chair underneath the face of the former World Heavyweight Champion, Ethan Carter III, and give him what we call in the wrestling business a concerto, a chair sandwich, slamming the chair over the head of one downed EC3. And then his wife, as beautiful as she is, became, as the American Dream Dusty Rhodes says, a Jezebel, and spits on the face of Ethan Carter III. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Impact Wrestling 119-16. That's January 19th, 2016. God, I'm all totally confused. This was one hell of a show. And I know this show was a pre-taped show. I did not watch the spoilers. I had absolutely no idea what was going to happen tonight. And this is the way you should watch TNA Impact Wrestling. Guys, you got to give this product a chance. I really love. I'm so happy that Fabe, you're with your family. But again, this person left scurrying, and I don't know who this person is, but I hope they're not around, because they're going to learn the hard way. But ladies and gentlemen, next week we're going to have the Feasted Fired match. We have Rockstar Spud versus Robbie E versus Aiden O'Shea versus Eli Drake versus Jessie Godderz versus Drew Galloway versus Chris Melendez versus Grado versus Bram versus Eric Young versus Bobby Roode versus James Storm. And I got to be honest with you, I think one of the guys that's getting fired may in fact be either Aiden O'Shea or Grado. Yeah, not a big fan of Grado. Like Aiden O'Shea back when he used to hit people with the boomstick. We had Jay Bradley on here at OneWrestling.com. Listen, guys, this has been my Impact Report. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a long time. I may be a little rusty, but OK Fabe will be back here next week. Ladies and gentlemen, look, you can follow us here on social media. Follow us on Facebook. Search One Wrestling on Facebook. You can search up Big Slam Nation on Facebook. Every single Friday into Saturday, we have an awesome Power Pack show, and we have a really, really great show where we're going to be actually reviewing, or not reviewing, but previewing WWE's Royal Rumble. And the following week, we're going to be taping an interview with a very special female professional wrestler. Let's just say she is at the top of the food chain, but I'm not going to break who it is. I'm sure you guys on Twitter are going to find out or pretty much figure out. Listen, guys, again, WZ Daily, every single Wednesdays, well, Monday through Friday, guys. Check out your WZ Daily. Go to WrestleZone.com. Bill Apter, guys, check out the Apter Chat. Guys, do not forget to buy his book, his Wrestling Fix I Didn't Know Was Broken. Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow us on Twitter at One Wrestling. Follow me on Twitter at Big Ray's Show. Ladies and gentlemen, follow at Big Slam Nation, the entire team. You Got the Show, Bill Schuyler. Follow on Twitter at You Got the Show. Billy Ray Hustle. You can follow A-Track Brown at Pharaoh of Fancy. The Professor Quintana at PROFPW Hustle. Fame Black. Follow him on Twitter at Fame Black. And of course, your TNA Impact reporter, OK Fabe. Follow him at OK Fabe. That's OKAYFABE. Ladies and gentlemen, I always say this at the end of every single video. I would do this for a living, but if I can, I would do it anyway. Why? Because I absolutely love talking wrestling. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being a part of the first Impact. The hell was this? Okay, Fabe, I told you that this son of a bitch came back into my house. I would destroy him. Guys, I'll be back next week. I'll be back for Big Slam Nation, and I'm gonna tear this guy apart. Ladies and gentlemen, in the words of Bill Apter, we'll see you at the matches. Peace. Get over here.